Okay, my name is Waldo Stakes. I'm a self-taught rocketeer. I wouldn't call myself a rocket engineer because I never went to school. I studied 40 years rocketry and land speed record vehicles. When I get up in the morning, make a cup of coffee for me, a cup of tea for Denise. Usually I hang out with the cat on the couch. We sit around for a while. He's usually really cool. We sit around. He's getting old now. He's probably going to die in a couple years. But we sit on the couch. I usually start a fire if it's cold, you know. And then I put t-shirts on. This is going to be a 2 t-shirt day. Then I go down to the, I work out. And essentially I just do, I had this barbell workout. I used to lift, weights, and I had a bench, and the bench is at the ranch now, all this stuff. Then I have breakfast, because I earned my breakfast, Then I go to the ranch. I usually get there about 10 or so, and I help Mike, or I work on my car. My parents died. They left me this ranch. First thing, I was going to sell it. So I called up a real estate agent, and I go, well, I want to sell this ranch. And she says, well, it's not even worth what the note is on it. Okay, because it's just a beat-up old horse ranch, a double-wide trailer, nothing. So I met Mike Hughes, and Mike said, man, he goes, I need a place to work on my rocket. I'm going to jump to Snake River Canyon. And I said, well, I have this old beat-up horse ranch I'm trying to sell. So why don't you pay the note? So Mike lives there for $323 a month, which you can't beat that. And you can work on your stuff there, and I'll build my car there. This is Mike's project. 99.9% of everything you see here is built with his own hands. I just help him with stuff that I think he's not doing right, and we get into arguments. But I just want to make sure that it's going to work for him. He's going to survive. He's got a good place to work here.
It's kind of quiet on here. It's good and bad. It's like everything else. If you want to go somewhere, you got to drive further. But then again, it's a cheap place to live, and it's enough for all of this. So if I had this down the hill, it'd be $1,500, $2,000.
He pays $323 a month. That's what the note is here for this place, okay? And he pays that. Plus, he pays his power bills and stuff. I think I was supposed to go in on with his power bill, but I screwed you, didn't I? Yeah, I didn't mean to.
Last 7 years.
I know.
So he's probably in me for $5 grand on
Yeah,
power bill.
well, that's okay. I got the spaceship there. You're into me for 50 grand.
I know.
That's right. Right now, he owes me $50,000 right now. And I don't see it, so.
But Waldo won't tell you this, but I made him famous. It got him in a movie and TV
That's
show,
right.
so I don't know what that's worth.
That's right. Actually, I was famous before I even met you. That's probably how you got a hold of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. I mean, the thing about it is this is what I was telling you the purpose of this ranch is. That daredevils can come here and do stuff. Yeah, one of the big problems is you've got so many projects going. We've got the land speed car, this rocket, the spaceship, and a couple other projects. So there's a lot of stuff going on here all the time, even though there's just a couple guys here. So, the idea with this museum is each one of these containers has a different theme, and there's all these artifacts. So that what happens is I was going to set up like an Airbnb thing where people would come like once a month, and I'd meet a dozen people here, and I would walk them through here. And so the idea is we're just trying to have a place where daredevils can come to build the stuff. Right now we've got 2 guys that are here. I got Garen and I got Mike. And eventually, we've got old motorhomes and stuff out there. Guys can stay there. They can take their money and put it into the projects rather than, try to rent the shop and get people interested. That's all it is. It's just a way to do it. Okay. This container is one of my favorites. This is land speed. This is my hobby. I do all the flight rockets and stuff. All that other stuff is for other people. But this is kind of my hobby. Come on in. I built this. This right now, as we speak, is the fastest manned vehicle, potentially. Fastest manned vehicle on Earth. It can go from 0 to 1,000 miles an hour, a little over 1,000 miles an hour in 20 seconds. It accelerates at 65 miles an hour per second. Since you just load yourself in there like a rifle bullet. You can't shoot a 45 through the side of this. It's blast proof. Get in there, you hit one button, it arms itself. You hit another button, you're gone. Just goes. And it's basically a rocket-powered suit. It looks like this, It's kind of a model I use. But I've always studied aerodynamics and land speed cars and motorcycles, okay? I got into all this when I was about 10 years old. I went to a friend's house and he had a toy of this car, but it was small. It was only about this big. They used to put them in boxes of cereal and Cracker Jack. You remember Cracker Jack? Anyway, so what happened is I saw this and I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And then when I read about how fast it went, back in 1947, it went 394 miles an hour. It blew me away. So I started studying land speed record racing. And these are all part of that collection. But essentially what I did was I got myself library cards. I had 8 different library cards from 8 different libraries. And I taught myself automotive technology, motorcycle technology. I bought a motorcycle. I started. By the time I was 14, I had my own motorcycle. I was working on my own car. By the time I was 16, I was street racing and rat racing, which was tag with hot rods. Essentially, me and a half a dozen friends of mine had hot rods, and we basically tried to touch each other on the freeway at over 100 miles an hour. It was a great game. I mean, nobody ever got killed, luckily. Then by the time I was maybe 17, 18, I was dragging my motorcycle at the drag races. Then I met some guys, and they were, at that time, rocket cars were new at the drag races, and I showed them how to design a body because I'd studied aerodynamics for many years by that time. And then I got this name. And then through time, I was always building land speed things, motorcycles, cars, things like that for people or helping people out. I've set 36 land speed records through the years in motorcycles, automobiles, jet cars, rocket cars, all this stuff. And I didn't necessarily drive all the time, hardly ever. But essentially I helped to design and to build those things. Okay? And I built this. I'm building a car that's outside there that's capable of 2,000 miles an hour. It's powered by a 1,000,000 horsepower rocket engine, 1,000,000 horsepower. And then I also, I helped Mike and other daredevils because I set up this ranch to accomplish their goals too and their dreams, because you find out that nobody wants to help them because they believe it's too dangerous. You go to a company and say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to jump a canyon, whatever. They're like, they don't look at it. And that's who I am. And that's what this is all about.